I am joined by a very special guest this morning. We've got Allison Russell here in the studio. Good morning.
Good morning, Stephanie.
And congratulations on release day.
Thank you. It's so exciting.
Yeah, brand new album, The Returner, out today. How does it feel to have it out in the world?
It kind of feels like I just gave birth, but the baby has like 20 parents.
Yeah.
Because it's everybody that was involved on the record and myself. And we're also excited. We've been sending each other pictures from the studio and little videos from the studio.
Just like Remember When.
Yeah, exactly.
I know.
Yeah.
I know this is your second, technically solo album.
Yes.
But as
In
you
the
mentioned,
only,
there
yeah.
are so many people involved in this, including, I know you got to co-produce this for the first time, right?
Yeah,
but alongside
amazing.
your partner and
And my brother.
Yes,
Yeah.
and your
Well, my partner's brother technically, but yeah, JT Nero and
I
Drew
did
Lindsay.
not know that.
Together, their production team is called Dim Star. They're brilliant. And JT is one of my favorite writers as well. He wrote a song for Tanya Tucker's new record, City of
that's so
Gold,
cool.
on her new record.
So this was really like a whole family thing.
It was
That's
a family
so
affair.
beautiful.
We co-wrote and co-produced. And then I had 15 of the most brilliant women, my chosen sisters, the most inspiring artists I know on the record. Tons of Nashville-based heroes like Larissa Maestro, like Sister Strings, like Meg McCormick, like Megan Coleman. I mean, it was just Joy Clark, Elizabeth Poopa Walker, Ganessa James. It was incredible. Victoria Bialik and Wendy and Lisa from Princess Revolution joined us, and they have become our big sisters, and we are all madly in love with them.
Like, what an incredible community
It was
to put
incredible.
all of this together. And you do live here in Nashville.
Yeah,
And
I'm in East Nashville.
yeah, and all of these people just, I don't know, we're so lucky to live here among so many
Yes.
talented and amazing people.
We really are.
Well, before we keep talking, do you want to maybe play us something from the new
Sure.
album? And I should mention that you can also watch all of this live streaming on video right now at 1rpm.com/lightning100. Yes, wave to the cameras. But what do you want to start out with from the new album?
This is a song from the new album called Eve Was Black. And I want to, the spirit that I wrote it in is of calling someone back into the circle. I was raised by a really abusive white supremacist adoptive father. And for those of you who are not watching, I am a Black woman. So it was an interesting upbringing, to say the least.
Yeah.
But I left that home at 15. Life got much, much better for me. He has no power over me anymore. But where the place I'm in now as a mom and a woman and an artist is one of forgiveness. And I think that the most powerful thing that any human can ever do is to say, I'm sorry, I was wrong. And I know that's really hard for people sometimes, but there's always a way back to the circle. We're all actually equals, and people suffering from delusions of supremacy are hurting themselves more than anyone else. So that's the spirit of this song. It's kind of an open letter of like, come back to the circle. You're still our family, even if it's really dysfunctional.
We've got Allison Russell live here on Lightning 100. Here's one from the new album. This is Eve Was Black.
Eve was black, haven't you heard? The mother of ours dark and good. Eve was black, didn't you know? Is that why you hate my black skin so? Is that why you hate my black skin so? Do I remind you of what you lost? Do you hate or do you lust? Do you despise or do you yearn to return, to return, to return? Back to the motherland, back to the garden, back to your black skin, back to the innocence, back to the shine you lost when you enslaved your kin. Why do you try to touch my hair? Do you hope to find a blessing there? Why do you try to keep me down? Do you hope to sow this barren ground with my black blood, black magic blood, with my black blood, black magic blood? Do I remind you of what you lost? Do you hate or do you lust? Do you despise or do you yearn to return, to return, to return? Back to the motherland, back to the garden, back to your black skin, back to the innocence, back to the shine you lost when you enslaved your kin. What do you hope for as you tie the rope? What do you hope for as you hoist me up? What do you hope for as you watch me swing? Will the witness tree salvation bring? Do I remind you what you lost? Do you hate or do you lust? Do you despise or do you yearn to return, to return, to return? Back to the motherland, back to the garden, back to your black skin, back to the innocence, back to the shine you lost when you enslaved your kid. Oh, my father, oh, my mother, oh, my sister, oh, my brother, oh, my cousin, I'm my pale kin. Can't wash this sin, can't wash this sin, can't wash this sin with my black blood, with my black blood. Ooh yeah, ooh yeah, ooh yeah, ooh yeah. Back to the garden, ooh yeah. Back to your black skin, ooh yeah. Back to the innocence, ooh yeah. Back to the garden, the garden, the garden, the garden. De l'Afrique aux Amériques, une famille, de l'Europe à l'Australie, une famille, de les Indes jusqu'à l'Asie, une famille, de ton cœur à mon esprit, une famille, one family.
Lightning 100. That is Allison Russell live here in the volume.com studio this morning and live streaming at 1rpm.com/lightning100 with Eve Was Black, a song from the brand new album, The Returner, which is out today. And wow, that was so incredible.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I mean, wow, the energy of that was intense, but in a very good way.
Thank you.
I almost forgot so you're singing in French at the end of that one, right? Because I almost forgot you're from Montreal.
I am. I'm a Montrealer. I'm a Canadian, but I've been living in Nashville for about 6 years.
Yeah, definitely a solid part of the Nashville community, but it's cool. I don't think we get French very much here on Lightning 100.
Well, I'm honored to provide some French for y'all.
But I would love to talk more about the new album, The Returner. You strike me as somebody who makes very intentional decisions. So I was going to ask you, what did you set out to make when you started making this album?
It's really a love song from my whole community, the whole Rainbow Coalition of collaborators who inhabit and enliven and enrich every single song on the record. Outside Child, my first solo in name only record, came out 2 years ago. And I've just been growing this circle of artists over the last 2 years, and we've been touring all over the world. We've had incredible opportunities. We've done things like play with Shaka Khan and Joni Mitchell and
Amazing.
Annie Lennox and Willie Nelson and Nora Jones and Brandi Carlile, of course, who is my beloved chosen sister. And it's been a really, really inspiring couple of years, and a lot of doors have opened. And this record is grounded in present. Outside Child was broadly reconciling the past, and The Returner is really volume 2. It's a trilogy, ultimately, but you don't have to have listened to Outside Child to listen to The Returner. But for the nerds like me who do the deep dive, there'll be fun Easter eggs. That's all I'm saying. But The Returner is the present. The Returner is stealing joy from the teeth of turmoil. It is joy as resistance. We all know we're living in a reactionary time. Fascism is taking off her gloves in our beloved state. And we're fighting hard, for our human rights. And as women in this state, we have lost bodily autonomy. How much further back are we going to slide? We had Love Rising, an amazing benefit that was for Inclusion Tennessee, was for Tennessee Pride Chamber, was for Tennessee Equality Project, Out Memphis. And I was so proud of Nashville and Tennessee, there is pride here.
Yes.
11,000 people showed up. We raised almost $600,000 for these organizations, aided by Brandi Carlisle's Looking Out Foundation and the amazing organization called Propeller. And I'm just so proud of Nashville. And that's just the beginning. And that was obviously pushing back against the legislative terrorism that's been leveled at our queer community, and particularly our trans community and our drag artist community. That particular fundraiser was about that. But, you know, all of these things are so deeply connected. And I think what happens for my community, I am a queer Black new immigrant mom, artist living in this town. I love this town. I'm a homeowner here. My daughter goes to public school here. You know, I pay taxes here. I have a green card. I employ Americans, so I'm part of this society, and I'm part of giving back to it. But you wouldn't know that from the way people like me are talked about in the People's House here, you know? And so it's all so connected. It can be easy to get overwhelmed or feel paralyzed or feel lesser than, or take that to heart, or allow ourselves to be divided and conquered. And I think art's job in these times is to remind us of our intrinsic, inalienable, undeniable equality, and to make people feel less fearful, you know, that even folks that are suffering from the delusion of the false ideology of white supremacy, I think when they come to a live show and they are enjoying the music and they are feeling something, and literally our limbic systems start to sync up. We start breathing together. We feel things together. Our serotonin levels are boosted. Oxytocin in our brain, our ability to love one another is literally boosted from live shows where we feel connected like that. And so to me, it's a kind of, it's a grounding in present. It's a grounding in celebration. It's joy and celebration as resistance. And it's loving on my community. And I hope people feel invited into the circle when they listen to the album, because y'all are so much invited into the circle. And every single woman on that record is a towering artist, and we're all just having a joyful conversation together.
That's a really incredible way at looking at an album. I mean, that's just so much more than just, it's so much more than just one piece of art. It stretches out so much farther than that. It's really incredible.
I think that's what all music does, really.
I know, it does. Yeah. And I mean, that's why we love it so much.
That's why we love it.
Yeah. And so tell me a little bit more about like actually making the album. I know we were talking about this like a little bit before we went on air, but you recorded this out at an incredible, I mean, I guess you'd call it a historical studio out in LA.
Yeah. So it started its life as Charlie Chaplin's studio back in the day in West Hollywood. And then it became the studio for A&M Records. And so that life is so deep and so storied. That's where A&M Studio is where Joni recorded Blue. It's where she recorded Court and Spark. It's where Carole King recorded Tapestry. It's where the big We Are the World.
Like, what a lineage to be a part of.
Came together. It's incredible. I mean, the good ghost, the good mojo in those walls is just astonishing. And Wendy Melvoin and Lisa Coleman, who many of you have, if you don't know their names, you know their music because you have absolutely heard them. If you've heard Purple Rain, for example,
yes,
that's them.
Definitely heard
playing
that one
on Purple Rain. Like that's, you know, they are, for me, my favorite era of Prince is when he was playing with The Revolution. And that's so much of that sound is Wendy Melvoin and Lisa Coleman, Wendy and Lisa. And so they have a little studio above Studio D at the old A&M, which is now owned by the Jim Henson Company. So
the energy is even more magical now.
And I'm just going to confess to y'all, the reason I play banjo, I did not find out about my own West African family and lineage until adulthood. I certainly did not know anything about the fact that the banjo was a West African instrument that was brought to the Americas with enslaved peoples. The oldest banjo in America is found in Haiti. It is the Creole Bania. And when I talk about America, I'm talking about Haiti to Nunavut, Caribbean to Canada, like the whole amazing cultural melting pot, all of the waves of immigration and whether forced or chosen, and cross-pollination and culture clash that has resulted in the most exciting music in the world. That's affected, you know, the roots of every genre of American song have been affected by the massive culture clash and cross-pollination of the African diaspora, the indigenous diaspora that was already here, and the European diaspora, and then, of course, every wave of immigration since then. And it's so exciting to me that we can trace those roots in the music, and we can literally, the Creole Bania is in Haiti, and it's the oldest banjo in America. So that journey of the banjo up to, a lot of people identify banjos now as like an Appalachian instrument.
That's always what I just assumed,
Sure,
honestly. Yeah.
Of course, because that's like what we were all sort of taught in our childhoods. But it's a much deeper, more interesting global story, and that has its roots in Africa. But before I knew all that, I loved Kermit the Frog, and I loved Sesame Street, and I loved the Muppets, and I grew up watching. I was in Montreal, but we would get PBS from Burlington, Vermont, would like beam up to our little TVs up there, right? So I adored Sesame Street, and Kermit the Frog playing the Rainbow Connection on banjo changed my life, and that's why I play banjo. And then I later met my sisters, Rihanna Giddens and Amethyst Kia and Layla McCalla from Our Native Daughters, and learned about the real history. But there was such a joy for me going to the studio every day, and over the archway there's a giant Kermit the Frog raising a top hat.
That just feels so beautifully full circle to end up making this album and seeing Kermit the Frog every
day, giving us inspiration. Like, honestly, you could do worse than take Kermit as your kind of spiritual guide in this world. He's a very kind frog.
That's an amazing, person creature to call your mentor.
Totally.
We'll call him a person.
He's my mentor.
Yeah.
Kermit the Frog.
We've got Allison Russell here live in the Volume.com studio on the release day of the brand new album, The Returner. Just came out today, and I listened to the whole thing this morning. It is just so incredible. I love it so much, and I kind of had already been thinking, I don't typically like to compare two things when I have artists on, and I'm not necessarily comparing the music, but just it's funny to me that you did this in the same studio where Carole King recorded Tapestry, because there was some sort of similar energy there when I was listening to it, and I really felt that in the recordings.
Well, that is incredible. High praise, Stephanie. Thank you.
And you are doing an in-store and a performance today at Grimey's,
at Grimey's,
right? At 5 p.m.
Yes, at 5 p.m. we'll be doing a half-hour performance and then signing records. I am so grateful to Grimey's and to The Groove and to Vinyl Tap. We're so lucky.
So lucky to have all of these amazing places.
Lucky, and they're all such brilliant curators, not just of music, but of other types of art, of books, of film in some cases. And I'm just so grateful. And last night I got to go hear Tyler Childers, who has his album out today too.
Yes.
Congratulations, Tyler.
And I saw you hopped on Grimey's little stage with him.
That's what a generous human he is. He invited me up on his night to sing one of my songs, and that was just so generous.
That's incredible.
So a big happy birthday to Tyler's new record.
Happy release day to Tyler as well. Rustin' in the Rain out now.
Yes.
Well, you can go see Allison Russell's in-studio performance at Grimey's today at 5 p.m. That is free. I believe you're going to be signing vinyl out there as well.
Signing vinyl. And there's an incredible mural that I just saw on Instagram. Kim Radford. Do y'all know Kim Radford?
Did you get added to the wall?
I got added to the wall. And so Kim Radford does interpretations of album cover art, giant on the walls of Grimey's. And to be up there it's just so thrilling.
That's incredible.
It's such an honor.
They always look so beautiful.
She is a brilliant artist from right here in Nashville. Kim Radford, extraordinary. Yeah.
Well, before we wrap up today, do you want to play us one more song?
Yes, I'd be happy to.
I think this is the one, if I'm remembering correctly, that you're nominated for Song of the Year at the Americana Awards this year.
You're remembering correctly.
And you're also, I should say, nominated for Artist of the Year as well, in general, which
too generous.
Incredible.
Too generous. I am really, really proud of our all Americana family, and I'm so excited for the Americana Awards. It's always a big reunion, family. It's September 20th. September 20th, we'll have the awards ceremony, but the conference goes on all week. There's amazing artists coming to showcase. There's panels. It's just joyful.
It's so special. It's just
so
all
special.
over town.
It's all over town. Yeah. Every venue gets into it. And I highly, highly recommend, if you don't have your tickets yet, go get it. It's seriously people talk about how South by back in the day was so cool before it got so huge and hard to get into everything. That's Americana Fest now.
Exactly.
So I'm just so proud of our community.
I believe the website is americanamusic.org, but maybe while you're playing, I'll look that up real quick.
I think it might be americanafest.org, but let's look it up and make sure that I'm so excited. And my beautiful sister, Brandy Carlisle, recorded this song with me. Sister Strings play on it. Megan Coleman, Meg McCormick, and Larissa Maestro play on it. And it was such a joy. So I'll do a stripped down version, but you can go see that live from Americana last year. We played it last year. So I was so honored that it got nominated this year. And this is for all of you, because none of us are ever alone. So much love, y'all. Hey, my little evening star, how bright you are. Anywhere you go, you're not alone. Rocks and bugs and angel wings, every little shiny thing. Anywhere you go, you're not alone. You're the North Star and the compass. I was finding something wondrous. Anywhere you go, you're not alone. Wish that I could keep you from sorrow and harm. None of us is here for long, but you're not alone. In the cradle of the circle are the ones who came before you. The strength is yours now, and you're not alone. Sparrows in the morning, crows at dusk, singing with your mommies, both of them. We have you're not alone. De l'Afrique à l'Acadie, de l'Europe aux Amériques, la musique nous réunit, music unites us. Une famille, one family, one family. Hey, my little evening star, not alone. We have love. We have love. We have love. And you're not alone. We have love. We have love. We have love. You're not alone. You're not alone. You're not alone.
Lightning 100. That is Allison Russell live here in the Volume.com studio with You're Not Alone. Thank you so much for coming in today. Congrats again on the new album, The Returner, out now. And everyone go see Allison Russell at the Grimey's today for free. How often are you going to get to see somebody so amazing for free?
And we're going to be coming. We're doing our big headlining show at the Basement East on January 11th.
That's right. You can get tickets for that now over at thebasementnashville.com. Yeah. And don't forget to pick up your copy of The Returner. It is incredible, start to finish, so beautiful.
And also don't forget to vote.
That too. Very important.
Your voice.
Yes.
Go vote.
Be
I'm
involved.
so excited that Gloria Johnson announced her campaign for senator. Super excited.
Take a note from Allison. Get involved in your community. It really matters.
Yes.
AllisonRussellMusic.com to learn more. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you, Steph.